Because you can be the best in your industry. You can be the best lawyer. You can be the best doctor. You can be the best coach. You can be the best consultant. You can be the best fitness trainer. But if nobody knows about it, it doesn't matter, right? You can't help very many people. And you can't have a lot of impact if you're not helping hundreds or even thousands of people. And when you have a message, when you have a God-given message, you know when you have that message. It just burns right inside of you, and you have to share that. You just can't keep it inside. And when you need to share that, there are thousands waiting to hear from you, even hundreds of thousands. And if you will, if you try to take it one at a time, you're not going to be able to reach the people that you were meant to reach and the people that need you. And so we use power of media and creating your authority status to share that message far and wide to everyone that needs to hear it. And when you have that message burning inside of you, they hear it. They hear it immediately. It resonates with them, and it's just it warms my heart, and I love, this is what I love to do. I love to see people just explode because of that passion, and then they can immediately connect with their audience.
Welcome to the $1 Million Equation Podcast, a podcast about the easiest, fastest way to build $1 million business based on the best-selling book, The $1 Million Equation. If you love business, each episode reveals all of the core fundamental essentials for growth. Now, here's your host, Richelle Shaw.
Hey, it's Richelle again, and I'm back with my good friend Jeanie Budge. And today we're going to talk about how to leapfrog to leadership and the power of media. So I've known Jeanie for, back before our hair turned gray. Before we had to start dyeing it on a regular basis. When our kids were little, we still got some that are not so little, but gosh, it seems like a long time. Met at a conference, right? Became instant besties again. What are you doing? Let's just do that, because we were, I don't know, one of like 4 or 5 women there. Do you remember? There weren't that many. Back when, when we went to the bathroom, there was no line. Because it was only men there. We got really close, and we got to be really great friends. And every time, we can't help but talk forever, and then forget what were we supposed to be working on today. So, but before we get too far in it, to my honest, I want you to meet my friend Jeanie Budge. She is really going to talk about leveraging the power of media. But before we do that, Jeanie, introduce yourself really quick, 2 minutes, just so that they can fall in love with you as I have.
Oh, Richelle, you're so sweet. I love you. Like you said, my name is Jeanie Budge, and I live in Salt Lake City, Utah. I have a wonderful husband and 4 children and 1 grandbaby. And I didn't have a grandbaby when we met a long time ago. So I love to help coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, anyone with a message. I love to help them spread that message far and wide and get visibility and become the instant authority in their market and in their industry. And I think we just froze. Oh no, I lost Richelle. Are you still there?
Yep. We'll do it again.
Oh, awesome.
There you go. I'm still here.
Perfect. Yay. We're back. Anyway, I help them become visible. I help them share their message far and wide, because then they can have more income and more impact in the world.
Yes. Well, the income helps, but the impact is where I think that, I think Tony Robbins says that's when we really feel like we're making a difference, right? And truly, you can make an impact, but it's hard to make it without taking care of yourself. Kind of like when you're on the airplane and they say, make sure you take care of your mask before you help the person next to you. And that's kind of why I love what you do with the power of media and really giving people this kind of old school Oprah effect, right? So do you remember when that's all that people wanted to do was be on Oprah? And then, they went on Oprah and they went out of business because they weren't really ready for being on Oprah. How do you handle getting them everywhere? Not really the how yet. Let's talk about why. Why do you think you need to get them out there to the masses so quickly?
Because you can be the best in your industry. You can be the best lawyer. You can be the best doctor. You can be the best coach. You can be the best consultant. You can be the best fitness trainer. But if nobody knows about it, it doesn't matter, right? You can't help very many people. And you can't have a lot of impact if you're not helping hundreds or even thousands of people. And when you have a message, when you have a God-given message, when you have that message. It just burns right inside of you, and you have to share that. You just can't keep it inside. And when you need to share that, there are thousands waiting to hear from you, even hundreds of thousands. And if you will, if you try to take it one at a time, you're not going to be able to reach the people that you were meant to reach and the people that need you. And so we use power of media and creating your authority status to share that message far and wide to everyone that needs to hear it. And when you have that message burning inside of you, they hear it. They hear it immediately. It resonates with them, and it's just it warms my heart, and this is what I love to do. I love to see people just explode because of that passion, and then they can immediately connect with their audience.
Sure.
And, but those people
that makes sense.
Right?
Well,
right.
Which is why I stopped one-on-one coaching, is because it was all of a sudden, so many people wanted it, and then it got to be cost prohibitive.
Right.
It's like, well, how do you do that? And that's the same thing that, all of a sudden, now I'm on TV, now I'm on, in major newspapers, now here it is. And so I know that just you being able to do that for somebody is going to change their life. How long have you been doing this, and what made you go this route? Because I know that you worked with money forever and really helped lots of, staying behind the scenes and just helping with real estate. What made you move in this direction?
Well, I got tired of trying to find the next deal, right? Or the next customer. And so that's why I jumped into marketing, and I absolutely fell in love with it. I mean, I have an analytical mind, right? Background in accounting, background in finance. But marketing gives me the creative outlet, and I love to watch people explode their businesses. That's what brings me joy. That brings me all kinds of joy. When people, if you don't become the authority, and you don't use media, and you don't get your message out there, you're kind of stuck, I guess, growing slowly.
Sure. Falling behind, I think it is.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not running, then, in the race, everyone's going to pass you by.
Yeah.
But this is the way that you can strap on those jet engines and absolutely fly to the front of the line.
Sure.
I don't know if you remember.
Go ahead.
Dan Kennedy said that nobody has to anoint you the guru, right? Nobody has the magic wand to anoint you the guru. But we have almost come up with that magic wand to make you the guru.
I love it.
And, yeah.
I love it. And not only, he said, nobody's going to run to the bottom of the mountain to see you. So
right.
You have to be somebody. Yeah, you remember that? You have to be somebody. And if you're not somebody, then you're going to stay with the same low fees, begging people to do business with you, and then my favorite is when they post on Facebook, and their post is, you should be investing in yourself. The problem is you invest in all of these, trying to shame people, right? And I know exactly what that is. When they post it, it's like, oh, somebody didn't buy from them this month. Or,
right.
We should have entrepreneur parties. Like they have baby showers, and we should have entrepreneur showers so that when a friend starts a new business, that everybody can shower them with the things that they, right? And I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just saying that, normally the reason why you're doing that is because something isn't working out correctly.
Right.
And you're begging for business. And I have folks who would come in and go, oh, well, I'm just as good as her. And I would giggle, because I'm like, depending on what level that you come into the ascension, you're going to get basics down here. And if you never invest in these, then it does look like we're on the same level, right?
Right. And one way to jump up on the levels is through third-party endorsements, right?
Yes.
If you use third-party endorsements, it's kind of like jumping on the coattails of the celebrities, and riding that little wave.
Sure.
Then you instantly jump up 4 or 5 levels, right?
Yes.
You've experienced that, Richelle. You've been on TV.
I
You're
have.
the money honey.
I am the money honey. And it was very funny. We went to a concert not too long ago, me and a girlfriend. And so we're there, and we were there late. And the people that were sitting next to our seats, we went to sit down, and they went, wait, aren't you? And I'm like, and so my friend is like, yeah, she's the money honey. And I'm like, shh, I just want to enjoy the concert. I don't want to, sit here and talk about any type of financial issues right now at the concert. But it is a leapfrog. I mean, it's a game changer.
Absolutely. And it's almost instant, right?
Yeah.
You experience that when you have an appearance on the media, whether it's in print or it's on television.
Yep.
Get instant elevation because of that third-party endorsement. And a lot of people will ask, there's myth right now, nobody watches television anymore. Actually, they do.
Yes, they do.
A lot of people watch television, and the point is not that you're getting a lot of eyeballs, correct?
Right.
The point is that you have that endorsement from a very credible third party. So when you appear on the NBC affiliate, or you appear on the set of Good Morning America, that's instant elevation. And what you get from that instant elevation, I mean, it's amazing. You get powerful credentials. I mean, your credibility just skyrockets. That's an absolute launch for that. You get to quickly build your expert reputation in your field, right? Because the news anchors do not call Joe Blow. They call the number one authority in that field that they're reporting on.
Absolutely.
So if you appear there, then you are the instant authority. You're the guru, right?
Yep.
So, and it doesn't take very many of those appearances to instantly just elevate you.
No, and once you get that big one, then getting local ones are really easy. I mean, once I got USA Today, then it was just, I could walk into any station here in Vegas and pitch them, and they were open. Like they took my call. We are having, not sure, but when your segment is going to air during our summit, but I want to make sure that they all go and watch my producer segment too, because she's saying the exact same thing that you are saying, right? Is look and how to do this. And she was a former booker, and she really helps people media train now. So it's totally different than getting them on. But she's like, look, because I would see people get their shot and screw it up. You know what I mean? We don't want you to screw it up when you get there. And because it is a true game changer. Like it changes everything. And the thing of why I love you so much too is that not only do you understand the power of the media, but you understand the other side, is that you're a marketer too. So you won't let them, because that's only a flash in the pan, right? Once that 15 minutes of fame is over, then what are you going to do? And I watched how I was almost partnered with one of the Real Housewives, right, of Orange County. The real, ticky ticky boom boom one. And so I was speaking at an event. She was speaking there too. And so she brought her team over, and they grabbed me and like, oh, we really want to talk to you. And she's looking at her phone, and I have like Sunday at 9:30 p.m. I'm like, no, that doesn't work. So we finally worked things out. But No, and I was like, well, you should have done this years ago. It's almost too late now. You've missed that wave, and your audience is not used to you pitching or promoting. So now you've got to kind of, ease into this thing, and you can't be bombarding. Whereas, where Bethany did it is she was pitching and promoting from day one.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew it. You know what I mean? So they weren't shocked when she was pitching and promoting now on the show. So I love that you have, that long question went into. I love that you have that side of it where you know how to help them leverage that power of the media. So you take that side too and help them do what with it?
Absolutely. Well, we take that appearance on television becomes an asset. And we take that asset and we leverage the asset. And we make it appear, not just the video clip, but we talk about the video clip on podcasts, and we make it appear in print media. We do interviews. We make you appear omnipresent from the one 15-minute appearance. And then all of that, we use those as what we call trust triggers, right? Social proof, testimonials, you might hear it as like positive peer pressure, right? But we call them trust triggers, and they work to convince people, because you have been featured, because you're everywhere, because you have been elevated to the status of authority. Now it is so easy to sell. It's easy to sell whatever you're selling because people believe you and they trust you, right? If you say you're awesome, they don't believe you, right? Nobody's going to believe that. But if someone else, a credible third party, the media, says that you're awesome, then they believe you.
Yeah.
And so it makes it so much easier to sell. And it's easier to book speaking gigs. It's easier to get on other television shows. It's easier to do everything. It just launches the career, launches the program, launches the authority, and goes everywhere.
Oh,
and
awesome.
It lasts and lasts and lasts, and you can continue to leverage that over and over and over and over.
Oh my goodness. So now tell me, what does it do to the rates that you can charge once you've been through your system? If I'm charging, $200 now, what does that do after I've been through this whirlwind?
If you're charging $200 now, you can at least 10, possibly 50 times your rates. And people don't balk at the rates, right? Yeah. Because they want to work with the best. Yeah. And you've already established that you're the best. And you've been endorsed by credible third parties. So you can charge more. It makes it easier. You no longer have a long sales cycle. You don't have to deal with all of the objections, because those things become eliminated. And when those are gone, the slope is slippery, and it's really easy to sell at higher prices. And when you can do that, lots more freedom.
Sure. And the big impact, as you said.
Absolutely.
You can really focus on changing the world, which is what we want to do with that.
Thank you so much for listening to my passion project and the $1 Million Equation podcast, of which you're hearing. If you like it, I love it. So click the subscribe button to get each week your new favorite episode.
When they, how do you handle, and this is what people say to me all the time, or Richelle, I'm not you. You know what I mean? Like, you're funny, and it's like, I'm not you, so that can't happen for me. How do you handle that? What, can the regular dog walker become the number one dog walker and use your system?
Absolutely. And that's another myth that people have, is that you have to be the outgoing expert or the absolute number one best person in your field. What you need to be is an educator and an advocate. You become a champion for your clients. And then when you have that passion and that mission inside of you, that comes through on your television appearance. I'm not you, Richelle. I wish I were. I wish I had the same personality, beautiful, outgoing, fun, but I'm not. And that's okay, because I love my clients and I will do anything to make them successful. And that comes through. And we develop talking points for you. We help you through the whole process so that you appear the best. You take care of your hair and your makeup and your wardrobe, right? We want to make you shine, absolutely shine on your appearance. And as long as you love and care for your audience, the people that you are working for, the people that you serve, that comes through in your appearance. That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's it. Okay, are you sure?
I'm sure, because let's take the example of Richard Simmons. There are no words, really, right? But how many people love him, and he skyrocketed fame, right?
Yes.
Because he is a champion and an advocate for the people who are intimidated by going to the gym. So he makes it fun, and he helps them develop a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be, Arnold Schwarzenegger or what's the worst name?
or Jillian Michaels, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be one of those. Yeah. So if you're intimidated, just think, you got this. You're not Richard Simmons.
Well, I think that there's always, one of the other guests during this summit was talking about, you just have to be you and just start with where you are, instead of trying to put it all up. And I used to joke about how before I would do videos is I would have full face, everything, lashes would be hitting my glasses because they were so long. And I would have all this jewelry, and I would come downstairs to my office with, I'm sweating now because I've got all this. And then I would do 50 takes because I'd want it to be perfect. And that's not what it turned out to be. It was like, you could tell that I was just trying to be perfect instead of just sitting, having the conversation and attracting folks who just get me, right? And that's the thing that I always have advocated for is I would go and speak on different stages and people go, oh, I know that they're not going to pick me because they pick you, Richelle. And I'm like, well, that's not true. Those who want you will pick you.
Exactly.
It's like, some people I'm way too much for. They're like, oh my gosh, she's just woo, and I'm very direct and I'm very to the point, and yes, I am funny, but some people it just doesn't work for, and I get that, you know what I mean? And so I think that one of the things that my producer used to say is why they chose me is because I don't look like everybody else on TV.
Love that.
Really? And she goes, well, yeah, if you look at everybody else that's on our show, they don't look like you. And I was like, oh, well, what do you mean? Like a woman, like a black woman, like a chubby woman, like, what I mean? And she goes, I love you. And that's normally when they go, here we go. I know you love me. Yeah, but yes. Yes. So all the things that I thought that was the reason why I couldn't be on TV was the reason why they picked me.
Exactly. And everyone will resonate with different people. Just like you said. Yeah. And so it's important to just be authentically you and authentic to your mission and your passion and your audience. Sure. Care about them and just share. Be the educator and advocate. And you don't have to take years to build up to the expert status, the authority status. You can leapfrog over all the others and you can get there.
Sure. Because I wrote my first book 10 years ago and, it took a long time to get to where, this authority, and I still have a long way to go. When you think about, different people that, yes, I've heard of you or no, you haven't. And then, I was off the scene for a while, just focusing on my physician clients. And so I wasn't doing a lot to the regular entrepreneur. So, I think that, for everybody, you have to make the commitment and then stick to it. There's so many people that change and flip and flop, and you're like, what? Okay, no, that's not the talking point that we created for you, right? So what's their first step if in creating this power of authority and the power of the media and really leveraging it? So do you start with becoming an influencer, or do you start with writing something, or where do you guys normally start in this process?
Well, normally in the process, we start and make sure your message is clear. We got to make sure you are very clear on who your audience is, what your messaging is, what your result is for your audience. Because when you appear on television, you don't want to be ambiguous, right? You want to speak directly to your clients, your audience, so that they hear you. And if you're clear in your message, they will hear you. And so we start there. We discuss what it is they want to, where they want this to lead to. Does it go to a coaching program? Does it go to a sales of a product? Is it a group that they want them to join? We decide the pathway, right? We have to create the strategy. And then we work together to get the talking points down, and then we book them on the appropriate shows.
Right, on the appropriate media. Got it. So,
right.
Because I do notice that that it doesn't work if you are not clear about your message. So,
right.
If you are just sitting there going, I want to be famous, it's like, well, Kim Kardashian has already taken that.
Right, exactly.
Right? They don't really do that too much anymore. I think because, the world has seen that, you just want to be famous. You're not really there to a mission. So now she's created a couple of missions, but we'll see, how that all turns out. So the first thing that they need to do is make sure that they do have a mission and some sort of,
right.
Something that's bigger than them. Is that what you'd call it?
True. Yes. Just some kind of result that some problem that you solve for an audience.
Yeah.
And you get them some type of result. And then that result becomes your message.
Sure.
Solution.
Yeah, well, because I notice them that, people come to me all the time with, oh, well, Richelle, I love the $1 Million Equation. I just don't know where to start. And I'm like, okay, well, what problem do you want to solve? That's step one. If you love the book, then that's chapter one. Okay. Well, I'm not really sure. And I'm like, well, it's really hard to build $1 million business selling candles. You know what I mean? Because what problem does it solve? And I get somebody all the time going, light? And I'm like, the light bulb fixed that. Right? So it's like, nobody's passionate about buying candles. Well, there are some, but there's only probably 10. Right? And then they're not going to invest much more than, $30 is the maximum. And so if you're selling a $30 product, you got to sell a whole lot of them to get to the million. So, let's talk about, what bigger problem are you solving? And it needs to be bigger than you. It can't just be, I want to make money. It has to be, okay, the money is the byproduct. That's the effect.
Yes.
It's not the goal. The goal is let's solve a big problem and change lives. And then that happens later. So even if if you want to be the dog walker, that's Cesar Millan. That's what he was, Well, he used to walk them in packs, but he figured out a way to communicate so that they weren't jumping up and hurting people and pit bulls and not hurting other people. And then this is his message. And then now, he has a TV show.
Exactly. The money follows the value, right?
Yes. Money follows the value.
Hey, MDE Nation. Have you grabbed the original, the OG book, the book that started it all? The book, The $1 Million Equation. That was my original passion project where everybody kept asking me, Richelle, tell me how you rebuilt back your $1 million business. How in the world did you come back from losing it all? How in the world did you do it? And I sat and I spent 2 weeks and I wrote The $1 Million Equation. So it sounds exactly how I talk. If you put my voice to it while you're reading it, you will feel the essence of me. But you will also learn some really great, valuable lessons on how to build your own $1 million business. Yep, you can grab it right there on Amazon.
something that I've been asking every single person, and I'd love to ask you and get your take on it too, is, okay, so tell me, who is your favorite client? Not like your ideal client, right? Not, okay, well, we want somebody who has a mission and who's open. I don't care about that, because I think those watching it know that, right? But who, like, talk to me about your favorite client ever. It could have been back in the commercial world, 20 years ago. It could be in somebody that you just took to Good Morning America this week. I don't care who it is, but just tell me about that person and why they're your favorite.
Oh. Let me think. I have lots of favorites.
Yeah, okay. Well, then just the one.
I love the clients who, one, will listen, who are hungry. I guess that's a good word. They're hungry, right? They have the mission inside. They really want to help someone, but they're hungry, and so they're willing to learn and listen. But then they also implement. They do, right? They will do what we ask them to do, because then we can see the results, and then we can see what happens for them. And it's so amazing to me to watch them go from, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. I don't think this will work. They listen, we talk them through it, and then they try it, and they're like, so surprised. Oh my gosh, it worked.
Yeah.
Yes, yay.
Yeah.
It did
So what industry was the last person that it worked for in?
Oh, coaches, mostly coaches, people with messages, right?
Yep. That wanted, with weight-related coaches or business-related coaches or?
Business-related, yes. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. That is awesome. All right. And then my last question that I ask everybody too is, tell me, if you really want to crush the last half of this year and take 2019, make it one of the most memorable years ever, what are the top 3 things that they need to do?
Oh, top 3 things you need to do. You gotta get clear on your strategy. You gotta know where you're going, right?
Yeah.
And if you know where you're going, then you can run. And focus on one thing, one offer, one pathway to $1 million.
Gotcha.
Focus. So get your strategy clear, get nice and focused in, and then I'm gonna borrow from Nike and say, just do it. Do it. Run.
Yes.
And like Richelle says, run fast.
Run fast. I love it. Well, down below there's going to be a link so that you can connect with Jeanie. I'm also going to try to convince her to come and jump in the group and do some live Q&A with y'all during the summer. Yeah, so that'll be good too. Good. So you heard her say yes. So good. And then we're going to spend some other time together. But, once again, thank you so much. It was awesome. I know that you're super busy, and I just appreciate your time. Oh, thank you. I'm so grateful. And I love you for free. Jeanie Budge, everybody.